Cherie Hanson here. As I was sitting meditation today, uh, I was thinking about my relationship with time because that is my project now. I'm working on time. I'm on time. So, as I was sweeping the floor, what crossed my mind was right now, time is blossoming. And I was kind of struck. Sometimes my mind says things, and it's like you're listening to Urdu or some Slavic language, and you're just going like, I can't translate that. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? And I'm drawing the head of the broom across the floor, collecting the little bits that litter the reality in my room so that as I'm walking, I can feel things under my feet, and contributes to a general sense of chaos in my environment, which encourages my mind to get really crazy. Like, come back here. Sometimes my mind reminds me of the dog walker I see walking down through our neighborhood a lot of times. She'll have like 6 dogs on a leash. And I'm just thinking, yeah, that happens what I'm thinking. So sweeping the floor, and in a place where the only thing I'm thinking is I'm sweeping the floor. And it just came over me that in this moment, time is blossoming. It's as if I'm watching a video, time-lapse photography of a peony bud going from a bud to becoming this glorious blossom. And I thought to myself, in this moment, I feel time blossoming. Now, that's really different from most of the kind of usual reactions that I have to time. In past time, I have a very unhealthy relationship with time. There was never enough of it. It's kind of like I thought about, what if this was my husband, and you're looking at it and you go, you're too short. What's that all over your face? Have you shaved? And just abusive thoughts about time. You're not enough. There isn't enough of you. Why are you showing up and making me anxious? Well, lady, nobody's making you anxious. You have an anxious mind around time. And I think some of that, to let myself off the hook, can I do that? Will you allow that? Please. Is in our cultural conditioning. Because here are the things I was taught when I was growing up. If you're not doing something, you're lazy and you're worthless. Hey? You get that at work? You get that in home? You get that when you have 3 hours free, and then what you do is you have to pay for it by getting in a group and doing something in a group. You get with your coven and you just use up the time. Oh, good, I've got time to do this or do that, or learn a new skill, or learn a language, or strip the sheets, or steam clean everything in the house, including the walls. So our relationship with time isn't that we cherish it. If we cherished time, we would not be so focused on hating it, on reacting badly to it, on trying to spend it to get rid of it. Ever notice that? I have an hour and a half until I have to pick up my child from drum lessons. So what am I going to do? The first thing that crosses your mind is not the same as what a Brazilian forest tribe would choose, and that would be lay down in a hammock and hold your baby close and just swing and be. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we could train our minds to go to, I have an hour and a half, I'm going to use it to exist mindfully. I'm going to go sit next to the lake and I'm going to look at the waves and I'm going to not think anything and I'm not going to do anything that is valuable to someone outside of me or is trying to prove to me what a amazing person I am. And we come down constantly to the one issue, which I realized when I was 20. I was sitting in a bar and I wasn't drunk. No, that's not what happened. I was sitting with a group of people and I said, we spend all of our time trying to prove we have the right to exist. Now, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I got it at 20. I have to prove to my relatives, I have to prove to my boss, I have to prove to my friends, I have to prove to everyone in my neighborhood that I have value. And so I use my time in order to do it. But that relationship with time is something that dishonors it. We're misunderstanding our purpose. We're misunderstanding the opportunities that arise when we're doing nothing. When I'm sitting on the deck with Todd and he's sitting next to me and I am petting him and I feel, oh, there it is. That's peace. That's beautiful. That's blossoming. And it's me blossoming, using up all of this time and space that I have and creating more. Because that's what blossoming is about. You get bigger. You create more of you. You settle the hell down. If we had a really advanced culture, you would walk past someone who is sitting quietly next to a lake or sitting on their porch or laying on the grass, and we would think to ourselves, oh, there's someone who's creating something beautiful. Peace, compassion, wholeness. And we would mentally thank them for what they're doing. I think the only time I see people in the town where I live, in a place which is very consumer-driven, status conscious, is when they're out walking their dogs. Bless dogs, bless dogs. Because they may be just out walking their dogs to get poop out of them, so they're not pooping in the house. But the ancillary benefit is the rhythm of walking, the companionship of being with the dog, the allowing, the blossoming of self in a place that's not focused on moving rocks or chopping down a tree or having another God help us all meeting in which nothing gets done, because everybody is so aware of the scarcity of time that they're uptight and they're looking at their watches and they're confused. It's kind of like being in a relationship, the fairy tale where the person is given a choice of their mate. Do you want me to be beautiful at night and a monster in the day, or would you like me to be a monster at night and beautiful in the day? And that's kind of how we are with time. I hate time. I don't have enough. Time is driving me. I'm on this fast-moving bullet train that just takes me to death. And we also want time. We yearn for time. We're like, oh my God, I'm just having these visions. I'm having these, these moments of prayer. I would like more time. Well, no, you don't, because you won't even sit in it and enjoy it. It's like having a boat tied up at a pier on the lake and you never get in it. It's just tied up. So for me today, what I'm seeing is it's an act of anarchy. It's an act that destroys the old system when we do fuck all on purpose. Not looking at Netflix, not mindlessly repeating all of my scurry habits. Hey, there you go. It's a new term. Scurry habits. Scurry, scurry, scurry. Worry, worry, worry. Use up time. Quick, quick, quick. Or when we just, when Todd looks at me with his green eyes and goes, will you sit down with me? I go, oh, yeah. And then I sit down with him and the two of us, not touching, sit side by side looking out at the grass. And I think, oh, wow, this is beautiful. So, the relationship with time, really think about what your relationship with time is. Look it over. Who taught you that? Who taught you that there was a tank coming at you, and if you don't get anxious and run around like crazy? Who taught you you're auditioning for your right to be alive? Where'd you get that? Look at it. Maybe write about it, or just sit and look at the surface of the water and think about it. Maybe you don't have to do anything. So here is the new anarchy. Here is the new rebellion. Claim your life. This is my life. And if I want to sit here doing fuck all, then that's what I'll do. So make appointments with yourself. Oh, I have 2 hours. What am I going to do in those 2 hours? Go someplace and sit down and breathe. Expand your time. Expand your mind. So these are my thoughts today. Thank you so much for the people who are subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. It's fantastic. Some of my subscribers say that they are sharing my videos with family members who might just be ready to be in the vanguard of the anarchists destroying the old prison life that we've been locked in and start to get out there and find out who they really are. Now that's a rebellion. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. If you want a life coaching session, just get a hold of me. I work remotely. I have the ability to view your energy at a distance, so I can read things kind of like a good mechanic who just listens to an engine and goes, oh, yeah, I know. I hear what is going on. We can draw up a life plan that includes your rebellion against the oligarchy, where you can get there to the place where you're willing to blossom into a more glorious self. As I always say, and I mean it so much, I appreciate you.